Hello Intertubers, and welcome to a new game series. This time I'm playing Deuteros, which is the sequel to Millennium 2.2. And in fact, the name is Greek for sequel. Anyway, because this is a sequel, we have to recap the previous game. So, here's Earth. Nice place, isn't it? Well, it was until a large asteroid appeared and then crashed into the Earth, messing everything up and killing everyone. Fortunately, there was a base on the Moon with 100 people on it, and another base on Mars, which declared war on us. And to fix this, we had to colonise the rest of the solar system, including Pluto, of course, because this is a very old game. So the moon base sprouted colonies on various planets and moons throughout the solar system, and mined these planets to death, and brought all the materials back to the moon so they could build a giant fleet to deal with Mars and stick our own colony on there. And then all our colonies declared independence on the moon base. But that didn't really matter, because at this point the moon people had found a way to fix up the Earth. And so the moon people moved back to the Earth and everyone was happy. Except for the colonies, because some of these colonies contained mutated versions of humans that didn't breathe oxygen. We can start with the extremely derpy looking hydrogoids, who breathe hydrogen and lived on Saturn, and the methanoids with cool hair who breathed methane. I wonder what their farts were made of. Anyway, naturally they declared war on each other, and while the humans were rebuilding Earth completely oblivious, there was a big war all over the solar system, and the methanoids won and ended up colonising all the outer solar system. And so now the sequel starts. Earth is pretty much fixed, so fixed that the people actually have their own space program now. But was that such a good idea? Okay, and we're back. One moment while I swap discs. Eject, blah blah blah, insert new disc, okay. I just did. So, most Amiga games came on 2 discs and they recognised the second drive. This one did not. Well, here we are on Earth. I'll briefly go through the interface. Advanced time, saving and loading, which I'm not going to need because I'm playing on an emulator and there are better ways to save and load emulator state. Bulletin board. Guess what? Nothing's happened so far. Earth City, that's the base of operations and currently the only place that we can do anything. This is sort of similar to the old moon base. It's got production, it's got research, it's got mining, and we have one mining machine operational, but so far it hasn't mined anything. We got a shuttle bay and we have training. So you have a pool of 6,000 people, which is technically a limited resource to run everything here, which is a slight improvement on the old game, because on that game you started with 100 people and you'd finish maybe 10 years later with a population in the thousands, which means that almost everything is done by child labour, which means that let's playing that game might technically be a violation of YouTube's terms of service. But anyway, we have 6,000 adults here, So let's get going. You can't really do much without research and production, and you have to train people to do them. And this will take 24 days if I remember correctly. 23, 24, yeah. And I'm going to train more because I think these are 200-man teams. So, oh boy, Rimmer. Yeah, that reminds me of Red Dwarf. The names are sort of random. So production, not a lot we can do except build another resource mining rig, aka Derek. As for research, there's a lot of things that we could research, but the first goal of the game is to build an orbital factory, which means orbital factory section is kind of high priority. Oh, I should also mention, as well as stores, we have equipment stores. Currently only one piece of equipment is even researched, but you can click on it and find out what it does. A derrick is it's an automated mining and refinery, which is like kind of amazing considering what it does, but I guess we are in the year 3100. So I'd wait for this to be built, but I think it's going to take so long that we yeah, it's going to take, after 48 days, training opens again. And this will be the last one. Yeah, production has a 200-man team plus leader. Research has 250. Not sure why you have to train them in bits, but whatever. Yeah, research not going very well. At least this will be finished soon. Okay, so what, 35 days to build that? Should be faster with a full team though. 59, remember. $23 days, okay. Not much we can do until something else is researched. Oh, by the way, the maximum number here is 8. I'll see what 3 does. So we got 95, 92, so after 1 day, nothing happens, but on an even numbered day, yeah, see, remember 95, 92, and those are 52. Those are going up to 55, because each derrick has mined 1 ton. Here, each derrick has mined 2 tons. So yeah, these 5 things are slightly easier to mine than these gases. Yeah, I don't want to be caught out when research. This is now finished. Orbital factory frame. Shuttle chassis. No, I think we also need to research fuel. And I'm going to do more training because people have died. It might also be worth training some Marines. Marines fly the spaceships that we haven't built yet. Five. Well, they've got a full team, so let's just see how long it takes. Like 128, remember that number. $20, $21, $22. Well, it is 23. And I have to say, what a ridiculous number. Right, we've researched fuel, great. So fuel now appears here and will be made automatically out of hydrogen and methane. Yay. Right, one more. Oh, this guy's been promoted. He's now an engineer, which means he should build stuff faster. Yeah, that sounds about right. So OF frame. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 is a kind of a more reasonable number. Oh yeah, I should actually look at this thing now we've invented it. You need 8 sections. So this game really likes the number 8 for some reason. Ah, something else has been researched. Right, chassis and drive. Shuttle chassis. Yep, shuttles travel from surface to orbit. I think the manual already told me that. We only need one shuttle. Can go back to orbital factories. And I could put fuel in it, I guess. The trouble is, I got nothing to actually put here. You need to put a pod in it and then put something in that pod. And you also, of course, need a drive, which, you know, I don't have and don't even know how to build yet, so... Checking 4, right, yeah. Aha, we can build a drive now. And we should also research tool pod. For some reason the drive can build quickly, it only took 8 days. I've got 3 more frames there. And I believe that's the last one. Yeah, that's 7. So yeah, nothing much for the engineers to do until we finish inventing the tool pod. Right. Supply pod next. Oh, and this guy's been promoted to expert. Just in time for him to have nothing to do, really. We're going to need more marines, so... we now get everything we need to build this factory. Might take some time. You've got to put a pilot in here, because when you click on this, it tells you it needs a crew. How's research doing? Right. Oh yeah. Yeah, so the iOS is a proper spaceship that can get out of Earth's gravity well. Shuttle's only going to go to orbit. We've also just sprouted Master Control, which lists all the factories. You can have 16 of them because that's the number that fit on the screen. But this one's not finished yet. So yeah, it takes 5 days to go up and 1 day to come down. Also worth mentioning, the shuttle weighs about 200 tons. It's carrying 250 tons of fuel and 250 tons of payload for a grand total of, 700 tons? And it takes just 5 tons of fuel to get into space. That is absolutely bonkers. But it would be a much harder game if rockets were realistic. Yeah. You can look out the window and see the factory, although it really should show it in an incomplete state. Oopsie, no, not dock, but land. Then you got to do this 8 times, which might give researchers enough time to figure that supply pod out, who knows. Oh, this guy's now a captain. When did that happen? Right, yeah, just now. So, yeah, in this game you learn by doing stuff. And deploying orbital factories is, it gets quite a lot of XP. Right, we're up to 6. This one's 7. Yeah, researched, right. Next on the list, I guess, is the cryopod. We've also got, as promised, iOS chassis and cargo computer, but cryopod. Right. Almost forgot. We should build one of those. This will be the last one. I just want to top up the fuel as well. Actually build another one. Operational. We can now dock with it. So I'm going to remove the pilot and the pod and most of the fuel, because that's a slightly sneaky way of hauling up more material. So yeah, another pilot, Gregory, fine. So anyway, brief tour of the orbital factory. It has production and stores, but it can't build anything until we haul up some material, because it's currently empty, and move the production guys to here. Yeah, this is for shuttles, and then the other dock is for proper spaceships, which, you know, don't exist yet. And here's a slightly dirty trick. In addition to hauling up materials, I'm also hauling up the pods that we use, you know, the pods that we haul up materials with. And I'm going to keep on doing that because it's basically a small amount of extra free haulage. Titanium. How's that project going? Yeah, that should be enough. Millennium. Ah, cryopod research, right. I'm just going down the list, really. And I think I have a spare on Earth. I actually have 2 spares, right? Launch up. Carbon. Ooh, this guy's been promoted to a doctor, so we should be researching stuff slightly faster. Those materials are the big 5, though, so we kind of need to build everything. Right, so now these guys go to the shuttle bay. And we fit the cryopod, which pretty much has one purpose, and that's transporting artisans around. You can also put pilots in it, but every ship has a free slot, you know, in the front for pilots. Oh, on that note, we might need a few more. Great. So we should now be able to build... wait. Send those guys to production, and we should now be able to build our first real spaceship. It's going to be a while before we get the drive researched. Anyway, I'm going to take the time to... if I bring up hydrogen and methane, then hopefully the factory will be able to make its own fuel. we now have some interesting, maybe, things to put on the iOS. There you see, that's not an iOS tool. Installation repair, yeah, hydraulic grapple, asteroid mining, and a resource station, which is also not really a tool, but this is really important. This is what we need to expand to other planets. Like, we can build another factory somewhere else, but then we have to actually put something on the surface to mine, and that's what the resource station is. Anyway, that event was it was triggered by production of our new spaceship, so I guess we can build it, but yeah, no drive. That's a bit of a shame. How about tool pod? No titanium, okay. Yeah. We're gonna go fetch some titanium. No chassis, right. Can build tool pods. Yeah, I wanted to bring up hydrogen and methane. Right, under drive. I'm gonna go with the grapple. Oops, wrong production. That's yeah, production on the surface. Build a drive. Looks like aluminium is needed. Now, hopefully, the factory will start making its own fuel. See, hydrogen 250, methane 250, fuel 210. Nope, okay, give it a day. Yeah, so it's lost 6 each of those and gained 8 fuel, which I guess is reasonable. Like, not quite sure why we need methane. I'm surely hydrogen is the best fuel. And methane just has extra carbon atoms which take up space. Also, shouldn't we also be including oxygen? Because those things won't burn by themselves. Anyway, what were we short of again? Aluminium, right. So you've got to watch 3 things now. But at least we have a drive for this. And we can put tools on it. Or not. I guess iron. There's tool pod. And we've researched the grapple. I guess ACC next. I actually should look at these things. So what do we get up to? Shuttle chassis, surface to orbit, S drive. Needs fuel, duh. Tool part for equipment, yeah, supply part for material haulage. And rather annoyingly, can only hold one type of material. It's not a problem now, it'll get a bit annoying later. Cryopod, yeah, for haulage of teams. Basically, it's freezing them so they can be carried around and stored. Yeah, interplanetary spacecraft, 3 pods, drive. Again, needs fuel, grapple. Can collect objects of up to 250 tons. And we can now build them. Yay! I guess copper next. Yeah, this guy's a professor, so research should be fast. Don't know what's next though. It looks like titanium should be next. ACC, yeah, we need that. So yeah, it will automate the shuttle, which will drastically reduce the amount of annoying micromanagement I have to do. Meanwhile, needs a crew. In fact, needs a captain, but we conveniently have one. So just like in the previous game, you have to go fetch some asteroids. What do we need most of? Titanium, by the looks of things. Right, so here's the fun part. Fit ACC, and now we should be able to instruct it to carry things into orbit. Engaged. So without me doing anything, it launches, it lands, picks up iron, docks, launches again, lands, picks up titanium, etc. I should pay attention to research. And also this, it's reached the asteroids. Hasn't found anything, but it's reached the asteroids. Silver! Oh, I'm gonna take that. Well, that was very lucky. Anyway, can we build another iOS? Turns out we can, great. On the drive. Not bad. Palladium. Oh, I'm grabbing that too. I think you know how this works. We've got access to these things because they exist on the Earth, but Helium, nope. Palladium, platinum, silver, gold, silica. Nope. So there's 6 minerals missing. Band-aid, right. Asteroid mining attachment. Sounds cool. We've got to build another orbital factory somewhere. Yeah, this is a slight problem with asteroids. They're not all small. I'd love to have 5,000 tons more titanium, but pretty sure the grapple actually says so. Yeah, up to 250 tons. So that thing is about 20 times heavier than it has to be. Anyway, this other stuff. ACC, we've seen what that does. Automates shuttles. AOC. Yeah, remember, this is a very old game, so AOC didn't stand for anything. But somewhat amusingly, AOC destroys jobs. It's the automated replacement for engineers. And a band-aid, yeah, is for repairing abandoned surface stations, which will be more important later in the game. But there is one important use for it, which is, since this is a sequel to Millennium 2.2, there should be an abandoned moon base. So we're going to deal with that at some point. Can I build a third OF frame? Slightly surprising, but I can. Palladium. I already have palladium. I don't even know what I want right now. You know what? I'll get it. You're going to need tool pots now. We'll keep on researching. So yeah, this is where the problem starts. To mine asteroids, you need platinum and silver. But to get the platinum and silver, you need to mine asteroids. But, you know, this might help. That's a lot of silver. Unfortunately, we're gonna need platinum. We're not gonna need it in a hurry, but we are gonna need it, so I'm sending that guy back to the asteroids. 2 tool pots. Get me 1 more tool pod. And another orbital factory section. So, yep, might as well start on the second factory. It's going to be much less annoying than the first one because I'm building it with iOSs, which, you know, have a 3... Oops, that is very important. You need one of those. It's going to be less annoying than building it with shuttles because if you build it with proper spaceships, iOSs, you can deploy 3 at once. So it's only going to take 3 trips rather than 8. We should also start caring about where do we put it. Like, Earth has various minerals. The moon is the obvious candidate, and that is where we're going. The moon will get us gold and silica, which we do not have on Earth. It also gets us titanium, aluminium. Those are like the big three elements that almost everything is made of, and you tend to need a lot of later on. And I should also mention, this is an old game, not quite as old as Millennium 2.2, but still so old that Pluto is a planet. Probably not a good planet, but it does have palladium, platinum, gold, and silica. That's not terrible. Also, there is a 10th planet. The assumption being that one would be discovered between now and the year 3100. And yeah, that's not so wrong. What actually happened is that Xena was discovered. Well, lots of what you might call Kuiper Belt trash was discovered, but Xena is actually more massive than Pluto, I think. Or bigger than Pluto. It's certainly one of those. And at that point, then it starts to raise questions like, how can we justify Pluto being a planet and this other stuff not being a planet? And they actually deplaneted Pluto just so they wouldn't have to make Xena a planet, which was eventually renamed to Eris. But it took a while because to name something they have to decide what it is first. So yeah. So this game did kind of predict Eris, aka Xena, but it should have a moon called Dysnomia or Gabrielle. Well, can't really blame them for that. Yeah, on the subject of moons, that's where my first factory's going to be. Sorry, second. And we don't have enough titanium to build anymore. We know the shuttle is going to get onto it, but we could take the time to build the AOC. Alright, it looks like we've researched everything here, or everything currently available, so quick review. Band-Aid is for fixing abandoned stations, like the moon base. And very conveniently, the Band-Aid, let's see, you have to go back to research to see it. Band-Aid, where are you? Doesn't need any exotic material, just those big fives that we can get on Earth. And that stands in contrast to the R-frame. If you don't have an abandoned moon base, then you need to use R-frames to build a surface station. But if we look at the research for that, it needs platinum, silver, and silica. That's like the first puzzle, you might say, in the game, but it's not a very hard one because the answer to it is exactly the same as it was in the early game. There we go, platinum, silver, silica. Wow, that's convenient. 50 tons of platinum. The asteroid belt is usually not this cooperative, not even close. Now I do need silica too, but I'll probably get that from the moon. So yeah, how's the titanium situation? Yes, collecting iron first. You know, I'll grab more silver. with titanium we should be able to build more OF frames. Oh yeah, we can just ask the AFC to queue up infinitely many of them. And also build one resource station section. Yeah, we need silica, but again, that's a bit big. So yeah, 3 OF frames. Check asteroids. That'd be really nice too. Like, we need aluminium, but yeah. Yep, that's 6 out of 8. Going back. Building. So that's good. I'll just set that to build one more. Which isn't happening. Because we're short of titanium again. I could manually override the shuttle. Force it to skip back to titanium. But the real critical path here is aluminium now. Alright, alright. I'll take that. Ooh. Because also I'm going to need an ACC. Yeah, you can build that quickly. Yeah, that's a lot of silver. You know what? I'm also going to order more stuff. Asteroid binding attachment. Supply pod. Oh well. Yeah, so anyway, this can now be finished off. Oh yeah. Got to deploy the last 2 pieces. So yeah, we do have an abandoned moon base here. Anyway. Going to strip off this ship what we need, which is actually quite a few things. We're going to need production guys and a tool pod and the captain. But now it's time. This ship, I will convert it. So, if we click on everything, and I really, really wish there was a button for that. But if we click on everything, then this ship will now automatically balance resources between Earth and the Moon. So that means we should be able to build a shuttle now. Nope, no carbon and copper. I'm impatient. One more day. Now we can build a shuttle. As for here, I want one more supply pod and an ACC. Shuttle drive. Well, not the iOS drive, but shuttle drive. Tool pod we already got, so band-aid. So now I think should be possible to convert this ship into an automated asteroid miner. And this is one thing I really like about this game. Whenever something becomes boring, the research department will find a way to automate it. Okay. So that band-aid, funny looking thing, but I think it will get the job done. I guess we should build an AOC. Because we're going to need 8 derricks now, so... Launch. Land. Crew doing stuff. Launch again. No, that's not all we're going to need. We're going to need... Yet another iOS, okay. We may have a slight problem here. Yeah, I gotta make that the last one. Ooh, look at that. We're mining silica, which is just rock, but currently we do not have any, so I'm not going to complain. Just need one more of these, actually. I think I probably want to commission that on the moon. I'm also going to need a supply pod and an ACC. But why can't I build? I mean, it's got to be titanium again, right? Yeah. Right, this will fix all my problems. So now we finally have a second ship. It's actually the third one, isn't it? Which will deliver 3 directs to the moon. So now one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. So now I think we fit the ACC. What do we have here? First 4 deuterium gold silica. Right. So yes, bringing up iron, bringing up titanium. That place is still mining rock, yeah. Not a lot is going to happen until it's finished. But I think we can indulge, get another iOS. Well, I was kind of hoping that, right, once we've brought up this titanium, yeah, stuff is happening. And also that critical resource station, we will need to. We'll need 2 of those to expand. And I'm not sure it's happening, so why is that? We need 25 platinum, 10 silver, 15 silica. What do we have? Not enough platinum. Right, that means a return of the grappler ship, I think. Yeah, we're going to need more people, so here's a little trick. When the shuttle's going down, set it to complete cycle. Then it will pause in the ground bay. Put pilots in, complete cycle again. You can take the pilot out, and then tell it to work normally. What is this doing? Why is it scanning asteroids? It should be coming home. That's more like it. I think I know what the problem is. Although I'd fetched for 50-ton platinum asteroid, I built the AMA, which robbed me of 5 platinum. So So yeah, I need more platinum. You know what, we're going to have a race here. Well, when we've finished. There's a bunch of chassis on the moon and no drive. Well, I've requested one, so it's really only a matter of time anyway. One chassis, one drive. Gonna need some tool pods as well, so I might as well order them. Palladium, a bit big that. Silica. Right, so all I need right now is platinum, so I'll set this to only fetch platinum. And we'll see who finds platinum first, the grappler or the miner. See, the grappler can only pick up small asteroids, the miner only useful with big ones. Titanium. I'll take that. Right. They're going to both need tool pods. They're also going to both need orbital factory sections. There's another pilot, is there, right? Complete cycle. Should be a 3-day thing. No, I need platinum. I'm not going to set off that piece of trash. Should be 6 days, right? So let's check orbital factory sections. Not a lot of those. Still, we do have a fully functional moon base now. With a shuttle hauling up stuff, so we should really soon start to see the benefits of that. Silver, I did order infinite orbital factory sections, so yeah. Ah, more silver. I mean, I'll take it, but the last one has to be platinum. Ooh! I believe this one has won the race by finding a very large platinum asteroid to mine. Titanium. Would normally love to grab that, but yeah. Platinum, bit big. Silica. Yeah, meanwhile this one's already doing fine. Ooh, 4 of each. Right, well. Well, it's definitely time for factory number 3. Slightly unfortunate that the pilots are on Earth, so this one will be slightly delayed compared to the other. Assuming I do it that way around. It needs a crew. Here's our crew. I guess check this one last time. Yeah, I don't think I'm just going to admit defeat, grab the titanium and come back home. Because this will finish its mining. So the next question is, where do you put the 3rd colony? And there's a few options. What I'm looking for is the missing elements. Palladium, silica. So no, not really on Earth. Venus is not fun. Mars, no. And the moons of Mars are absolute trash. Now there's some good options on Jupiter. Well, not Jupiter itself. You can get platinum from Ganymede plus these big 3. Platinum, silver from Callisto. I mean, this would be a good one actually. Platinum, silver, silica. And I believe that's all the exotic materials you need. Yeah, platinum, silver, silica. So Callisto is a serious candidate. So I think these are a bit crappy. But then if you go to Saturn, yeah, you're not going to mine Saturn for just hydrogen. But there is one standout here. And that is Titan. So Titan has all the missing elements that we're not currently mining: palladium, platinum and silver. It has titanium, which we're always short of, and it has hydrogen and methane, which means it can make its own fuel. And another source of hydrogen and methane is really nice, because we're currently on only 1 planet's worth of fuel, which isn't great. So these guys are going to Titan. And both those ships will be converted to transporters. So I'm going to have to order yet more supply pods. So maybe I just ask for infinite supply pods and remember to stop when they get 3. Yeah, just 1 more and just 1 more, so some slightly needed titanium there. Silver, who really cares? go to the moon, don't we? Because on the moon we have the other frame. And the artisans. So we have these go up here. Also to Titan. How fast is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. So in 4 days it mined what? 28? But actually 5 days it mines, yeah. So something like 5 units per day. That's it's not great, but it'll have to do. So yeah, Titan. And Titan, so let's go. Okay. Yeah, factory's operational, technically. As always, we're going to dump tool pod, take the artisans out, dump the fuel, and the pilots. See, slightly different display here. There is nothing on the surface, which means we're going to need platinum very soon. Why are you scanning asteroids? Come back home. I need that platinum. Yeah, whatever. Ooh, no ACC. Fine. Actually, now that I think about it, this ship should be going back as well. Oops, that was a mistake. Wrong ship. Okay. How do I fix that mistake? Iron. Titanium. ACCs, of course. I guess this ship should come home. And we're finally building the R-frame. Yeah. And the moon's building one as well. Yeah, just go back to Earth. That was a stupid mistake. I mean, that's delayed things a bit, which is slightly annoying. here's the good news. We can actually pick up the R-frames. Guess we should also start building derricks. So anyway, this Titan. Right, so if this is converted into an automatic truck, I've already transported the first three elements. If we start at carbon, yeah. That should work pretty well. And this ACC. Probably start around there to be like out of sync with the current one. So dump both our frames. Dump some fuel as well. And return. We're mining something. Nice. Might as well carry the 4 derricks. Sorry, 8 derricks. Oopsie, don't do that. Fill them all. Have we researched everything? Yeah. So, oh right. Guess Titan's now ready, so we can build the shuttle. We're also going to need a supply pod. Although I think it's long past time to get Titan working. So this is the this is the normal way to build a surface station. Oh yeah, not much of a view. Supply pod and ACC. So yeah, I've got the resource, got the surface station now. Deliver 4 derricks, sorry 8. That's the last thing to do. Yep, so now we just automate the shuttle and Titan should start running by itself. But we've got titanium, carbon, hydrogen, methane, palladium, platinum, and silver. And of course fuel. One more slightly interesting thing to do here. It's going to need another grapple. I'm not quite sure what that should be at. So, not sure how's the best way to show this. Maybe just look at the stores on Titan. I mean the planetary stores. We've now reached a point where we're mining everything except helium. Just want to wait for the shuttle to bring up platinum. Yeah. So I think it's fair to say we're out of the early game and the resource problem is solved. Now there's some slight variation how you solve the resource problem. You have to go to the asteroids. I mean, you can get everything there. You actually don't have to go to the moon, but it's very, very convenient, and the moon is a good place for an orbital factory. There is one other thing, which I will demonstrate. I assume what's supposed to happen is that once you've got all the elements except helium, start looking for helium. It's available at 2 places, Jupiter and Uranus. So you'd probably send a factory building crew to one of those places when they're both a distance 4 from Saturn. So, and then you find this. You won't be able to build a factory because There's one already there. And you know, it's not ours. It belongs to the methanoids or methanoids, which are the methane-breathing mutant humans from the last game. And you can do something useful with them if you dock with a grapple. You get a gifter. I mean, to be fair, this language probably is a variant of English. It's just that they've been isolated for 900 years and therefore speak it a bit funny. So here's what you do. You research the thing. Where is it? Oh, right. Communication adapter. And while we're doing that, supply pod. Comms pod. What does it do? Lets you communicate. One more supply pod, I think. But I almost forgot to actually build the damn thing. Let's fill that up with rock. And fill this one up with silver. So this was another thing we could have done, like, since I had tons of silver and a platinum shortage, this was an option. I mean, the way it works is things are just paired. So I think it's titanium and aluminium. They'll trade those two. We know they'll trade iron for silica, we just saw them do it. Carbon for copper, hydrogen for methane, and deuterium for helium. So I guess I'll wait for deuterium to arrive at Titan. So if you really want helium, you can trade deuterium for it. Now, is there any point in doing this? Since helium is completely useless at this stage in the game, not really. So they seem very polite. That will not last. But if you really, really need helium, well, that is how you replace your useless deuterium with useless helium. Now, it will have a use later in the game, but so much later that you don't really need to do that. But it is a fun thing you can do. Ooh, it's mining palladium right now. So that, I think, is a good place to stop the first episode. We're basically out of the early game, The resource problem is solved, so now it's just a matter of, well, what exactly? Just like in the first game, the game doesn't tell you what you're supposed to do, and the manual doesn't tell you either. But it is, I think, reasonably easy to stumble over the plot in this game, and that's what we'll be doing next time, so see ya.